What's up guys, Jacob here back on another video. This video I'm going to be doing a little grappler's guide. Just kind of going over some mindset stuff and just things that will kind of help you out. In terms of just like, I guess understanding what you need to kind of do with the character. And based on my experience, what works a lot. There we go. So first thing I kind of go over is just mindset, right? You know, you're playing a grappler character, so the idea is to kind of just, you know, make your opponent afraid of what you're going to do next and not be able to read kind of what you're going to do next as well, right? Grappler has a lot of really good options, right? It has long charging command grab that, you know, can lead to a lot of damage, right? That's something that already people are afraid of, right? A lot of people are afraid of getting command grab by that, you know, because the amount of damage that he can produce from that, right? So you got new buff to, you know, what is it, his awakening, so he can do more damage, right? I mean, he can cancel a lot of his, you know, attacks now, right? If he wants to. I know that looked terrible, but so depending, he can get a lot more damage now, right? Depending on the situation, right? That's a lot of damage right there, right? So that buff helps a lot with those situations, right? Depending on the hitbox, it doesn't work mid-screen. I think Kunoichi, you can't get on her like certain situations. I think the double slam doesn't reach. Yeah. So depending on the hitbox, I think Striker as well and Enchantress you can't do that against. But for this, you can always do the combo against them, right? So if you want to save your mana, just go for that, right? It always works on them. Just start it short and then go for the down heavy. You can walk up a little bit if you want to, just to make sure you get that, right? But yeah, you definitely do that. And depending on the combo, you can go for this extender, right? That's more like experience thing though, right? Yeah. Alright, so like I was saying, he's very oppressive up close, right? He can delay his buttons, he has a really fast command grab, right? Delay into a low, he can just go for the low, right? He has a plus move that you can charge into, right? He has a lot of tools that make it really hard to deal with him up close, right? In a game like this where DPs are a little bit easy to use, right? You know, you could mash roll as well to get out of situations, right? That's kind of where Grappler will struggle just because of his shorter normals, but he can counter it with this, right? Sometimes I've literally called people like this command go like 4 times in a row, just because of how fast it is. It counters rolls, right? A lot of people delay options, right? They don't do it right away, right? I know it's more of the higher level players do that. A lot of the lower ranked players, I noticed they just hardcore commit. They're gonna jump, they're gonna jump. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, right? It's a little different. I feel like the high-low players want to make sure, like, when they're making a hard read, they kind of know that's going to work, in a sense, right? But a lot of people don't press buttons, right? They don't go for their low up close against Grappler. So you can catch them a lot of times jumping with this, right? Or just go for a hard read and go for that, right? Right, they're trying to jump or whatever. I know Kunoichi had the air move, where she can jump, right? And throw out the kunais, right? So it's a little bit harder to do against her, right? But yeah, anyone who's kind of delaying their jump, you can catch them, right? If you're too close, sometimes you have to go for this, but at least you can recover pretty fast off of that move. They can still get punished, right? But it's a little more recoverable than the other move. But yeah, if I said that correctly. But yeah, depending, it could be a little iffy, but yeah, he does have 50-50 option, right? You know, all people that are trying to jump, right? I mean, if you really know, obviously you can just sit there and wait, right? But yeah, there's a lot of like OSs that you kind of do in those situations, right? If they're blocking, then they just block this and that's it, right? They kind of have to guess if you're gonna go for this and make it safe or not. But yeah, that's kind of a mind game in itself from there. Yeah, if you want to go fast options, you can. You have the faster options, right? Right? You have faster options to go for. Here it doesn't work. You can't do this extension there off of that move, but yeah. But he has faster options. That's all I gotta say, right? If someone's instantly trying to jump, you can delay this, right? You catch them jumping, right? You get it confirmed, right? and then you go for your combo, right? Yeah. Really good up close, really good character up close. He has a lot of options. If you know how to read your opponent, how they're gonna react on defense, you'll become very, very deadly with this character, right? That's kind of the idea about, well, most grappler characters are like that, right? If you're really good at reading your opponent, you're gonna be really annoying to fight, right? That's just how it works, right? You can charge it, just, you know, let you know. Oh yeah, about the DP stuff. So if you're worried about DPs and stuff like that, if you don't want to have to guess, he has safe jump options, right? Right, he has this move right here, air command grab, where you can kind of go into a safe jump setup, right? And if you want to make it too obvious to where, you know, someone's really hardcore guessing, if you time it correctly, right, practice timing so you don't do this, right? But yeah, because it makes it harder for them to know what you're gonna do, and you can just go for that again, right? That's what makes that really cheap, right? Safe jump, you could avoid DPs, right? Depending on the character, right? You can go for different options, right? Right, and then block. Get the timing down, right? Then you make it harder for your opponent to read, right? Right? That's why that's cheap, right? It's a hard 50-50, right? And you can loop back to the same situation over and over again, right? If you have the mana. The problem is it costs 70, so it's gonna burn your mana going for that, right? That's why sometimes people go for the charge one, right? So you get more damage off of that situation. Only problem with the charge one, it whiffs a lot. It has more recovery on whiff, I think. So a little harder to, right, compared to the, I think. Could be wrong though. Looks like the same. But yeah. And they can counter roll depending on how you time it, right? If they try to roll, sometimes you can catch them. It's a little hard, but yeah. If you don't want to deal with DPs, you can go for that. That's a safe jump setup. That's really good for with grappler, right? If you don't want to deal with people that are DPing, or you don't want to really guess on those situations, you could just commit and go for that, right? If you have the mana, right? But yeah. And make sure you practice your combos, right? Very important. Even though combos might seem a little bit easy in this game, sometimes you can still drop it, right? You know, it's just better off practicing. You know, if it gets laggy too, you want to make sure that your combos, potentials are really solid, right? Your comboing ability is very solid, but yeah. Right, what should I go over? Went over some mindset things. Maybe just show off a little matchup stuff with this character. Just a little tech, I guess. Kunoichi, right? When you knock her down, her DP has certain properties where you can, I guess, counter it with a grappler's charge attack, right? This is really good in general against certain characters, because characters that have like a vertical DP, you can use this move, and for some reason the hitbox on the front side of it, you know, there's no like hitbox on grappler. Like, it's just an attack hitbox, right? There's nothing that can hit him out of it, if that makes sense, right? It's hard to explain that, but yeah, right? Right, you see how you can block, right? And depending on situations, sometimes you can actually counter, right, and hit her out of it. We see how I recover there too, right? So sometimes you can recover and legit just like roll, right? And if she doesn't do it, she still will block the move. And the good thing about the charge version is that on block, it reels you in a little bit. Wait, where's the option? Right, depending on the situation, it reels you in a little bit, right? So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of reeling there, right there. But yeah, see how I'm up close now? Now you got to block the low, right? And I can tick from there, right? That's why it's really cheap, right? So against Kunoichi, you have that option, right? You can, the best knockdown for it is this, right? Because you're right in range to get that perfectly spaced out charge move. Man, why is the timing so odd there, though? Okay, yeah. I got double there, but yeah. Oh, that's why, because I keep micro walking there. A little bit of timing, but yeah, you get it down eventually. Don't go for that. Oops. But yeah, you get the idea though. That is really good tech against characters that have really vertical DPs, right? Like Striker as well, it'll whiff most of the time, and then you get a full punish over the DP. There's a lot of recovery on it. You can't cancel it on whiff. So yeah. Just a little matchup tech, that's all. Right? And What's up, go? I went over the safe stuff, right? If you don't want to guess. I guess if you're playing in the lower ranks, I guess you're gonna run into people that are mashing a lot, right? This move right here, just the raw one, is really good because it's plus on block, right? Most of the time you're gonna catch people pressing buttons, right? You don't have to really go for raw 50-50 guesses, right? Because a lot of people are just gonna mash through your armor, right? So yeah, just stuff you need, you know, just in case you want to know. A lot of people don't know about this, right? That's why you kind of have to know your opponent, right? The more you kind of can read your opponent faster, the easier it is for you, right? You know that your opponent's not reacting to certain things. Sometimes that's why it's good to test them, right? You know, they'll know about this, right? The cross up, they're not using the block button for those situations, right? That's very important, though, right? Right. So you can do this. You can charge it, right? There's a lot of reset options you can do off of those things, right? Right, you can wait a little bit, see if they're gonna DP, right? Or they're just mashing when they recover. That's why this is really good. A lot of people try to counter the reset. You know, if I try to jump up, you'll interrupt me, right, and then get a combo. So sometimes I go for the armor move, right? So these things you'll kind of figure out, right, as you're seeing people options on defense, right? That's why when you play, you get more experience and you're able to know how your opponent's gonna react for the most part, most of your opponents. The better players are the ones that are a lot more, I guess, experienced, right, in the matchup. They're more solid in understanding how the character works, right, and what most players do, right. So yeah, so that's kind of how you become the better player, by knowing, you know, certain matchups and how they work a little more. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but most of the time it's very important. It helps a lot, especially against most players, right. But yeah. Combo's very important. You know your combo situations, right? Know about hitboxes, right? Certain which characters can get hit by certain things and which characters can't, right? Very important to know about when you play grappler, and you know, knowing situations so you don't accidentally drop things, right? You will though. You're gonna drop things. You're gonna make mistakes. Shit happens, bro. That's just the way it is, bro. You know, faster you recover, the easier it is to, you know, get on to the next thing and potentially win the match, right? So very important. Mindset is very important, and just understanding those things, and it will make things a lot easier. Kind of have to have short-term memory loss when you play fighting games. That's kind of how it is, right? Ideas, learning, that's the most important thing, right? And getting better. So yeah, you're gonna get salty, right? Shit happens, right? There's just the way it is, right? You're gonna get salty. That's just how it works. Everyone gets salty. But yeah. Alright, so hopefully I went over most of the stuff. I figured this was going to be a little bit shorter. Hope I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I mostly explain in a lot of guides, right? I mostly just like explaining stuff. Hopefully I didn't, you know, go off too much, you know, rambling on. I do that a lot. You know, hopefully I still went over a lot of the stuff, right? The knowing safe jump setups and stuff. Just practice those things, right? It's very important, against, especially in a game like this where DPs are so easy to do, right? They're a lot accessible, right? But yeah. Hopefully that helped though, right? If you have any questions on like anything in terms of like, you know, just mindset stuff that I might have missed out, or just some combo stuff, I guess, or matchups, just let me know. I haven't played that many matchups to that extent, right? There's just certain things I might know here and there, but yeah. Either way, if you have any questions, let me know. And hopefully this guide helped you. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.